Saber, the Queen of Knights. Her heart was pure, her will unbreakable. She embodied the very essence of leadership, chivalry, and honor. As a ruler, she carried the weight of her people's hopes and dreams. Every decision she made was for their prosperity. She wielded the sword Excalibur, a symbol of her divine right to rule and protect. She fought for justice and protected the innocent, never wavering in the face of danger. Saber is now facing in the Holy Grail War. This was a battle royale between knights and barbarians, each vying for the ultimate prize. The prize was the omnipotent wish-granting device, the Holy Grail, capable of fulfilling any desire. Saber, bound by her knightly ideals, sought the Grail to save her kingdom from its tragic fate. She wanted to wishes to obtain the Holy Grail to change her kingdom for a better future, which results from Bilgams and Alexandros mocking her ideals. She believed in honor and fought with unmatched skill, her prowess in battle legendary. Yet her strong moral compass hid a deep well of sorrow, a burden she carried alone. Her reign was cut short, her dreams shattered by unforeseen betrayal. Betrayal and tragedy marked her life towards to her downfall. This vulnerability hidden beneath her stoic exterior would become her undoing, a tragic flaw in an otherwise noble heart. The Holy Grail War is a crucible, a test of both strength and spirit. It tests the spirits of heroes, pushing them beyond their limits. It pushes them to their breaking point, where their true character is revealed. Saber experienced this firsthand. Her ideals clashed violently with the brutal reality of the war. She faced betrayal and loss. Her resolve began to waver. Anguish gnawed at her very soul. She walked to the forest alone. To influence amplified her suffering. Suddenly a voice called to her. This insidious power preyed on her despair, feeding off her darkest fears. It whispered temptations into her heart, offering solace in exchange for her soul. It promised power to change the past, to undo her mistakes. But the price was steep, demanding a sacrifice she wasn't sure she could make. It demanded to abandon her ideals. The pressure mounted, and the weight of Saber's choices grew heavier. The voice gives Saber a choice towards that root of power to accept its offer. Saber's dream of saving her kingdom seemed impossible, a distant memory. It reached to her mind, her hopes were crushed, leaving her in a state of despair. Saber has no choice to accept the voice's deal. Her noble spirit chipped away, it twisted into something dark, something unrecognizable. The transformation was not instant. It was a slow and painful process, marked by moments of doubt and despair. It was a gradual descent into darkness, a journey that seemed endless and filled with sorrow. Her once bright armor became tainted, reflecting the corruption within. The gleam of her valor was now overshadowed by the rust of her regrets. The holy light of Excalibur, replaced by a sinister aura. The blade that once symbolized hope now radiated despair. Her golden hair turned ashen, her eyes burning with a cold fire. The warmth of her spirit was replaced by an icy resolve. Her powers, once fueled by righteousness, were now amplified by hatred and rage. The storms within her mirrored the chaos she unleashed. Excalibur, the symbol of her noble spirit, transformed into Excalibur Morgan. The blade was reborn in darkness. This cursed blade pulsed with destructive energy, a testament to her fall. It reflected her fall from grace, a mirror to her lost honor. She became Alta, a shell of her former self. The noble queen was now a dark knight. The darkness had taken root, twisting her into a ruthless tyrant. Her heart was as twisted as the landscape she ruled. She was a being driven by anger and a thirst for vengeance. The transformation was complete, and there was no turning back. The transformation into Alta was not just physical, it was a profound mental and emotional shift, corrupted by Ahriman. The once kind and compassionate queen was gone, replaced by a being of cold fury. The Dark Knight devoted to cruelty, greatly unlike the case of the normal Saber. A behavior without futility, a cold-hearted personality that makes Saber seem like a different person. She now ruled her kingdom with an iron fist. She was forced to witness her own actions. In its place was a being consumed by bitterness and rage. She became a reflection of the very tyranny she had fought against in life. Taken in by the hatred of the curse, comes to the realization that the duty of a hero is to be hated and ostracized, that a hero's only duty is to cut down foes using all their strength, while she still takes her duty as queen seriously, believing it is her obligation to those whose lives were lost because of her. She no longer believes in the ideals set for herself and her people. The end was concluded long ago, after all her prayers and glory vanished on the hill in Camlan. Saber did fall into the path of evil. even once, but she too had doubts, inner conflicts, hatred towards herself and grief towards the surrounding. Influenced by the curse of Ahriman, Alta had such issues hidden within her raised to the surface and caused her policy to go inverse. She will stop at nothing to achieve the Holy Grail. Her reign of a new era of destruction and despair. She became a force to be reckoned with. Her presence alone could inspire terror. Her existence represented a cautionary tale. It showed the dangers of Alta's corruption, having been violated by the darkness. This is a side of the Dark Knight, a tyrant that persisted in being heartless. She monarched to control the power of darkness. This internal struggle only fueled her pain, making her a tragic figure.